keeping your crown fit and your soul lit.
Too lit. Before lit.
This is the Crowns Up Podcast with Xavier Brandon, the #1 spot for hip-hop, faith, and culture.
I do this for my culture.
Streaming on all digital and streaming platforms. Follow us on social media at Crowns Up Pod. Subscribe and like on YouTube and get the latest hip-hop news and what's good with the culture.
Representing the entire hip-hop culture, man.
Meet us at the crossroads for dope convos and questions on faith. Get the barbershop debate raw and real with top 5 interviews with family, influencers, and get a mic check with your favorite artists.
Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Remember to always keep your crowns up.
Yo, what's poppin', family? It's your man Xavier Brandon. Welcome to another lovely edition of the Crowns Up Podcast. Didn't even know I had my headphones on, but you already know, #1 spot for hip hop, faith, and culture, keeping your crown fit and your soul lit. Man, we appreciate everybody who's been subscribing, everybody who's following us, everybody who's tapped in with what we got going on. We appreciate you. Make sure you follow and subscribe at Crowns Up Podcast. That's CROWNSUPPOD. Say what? Nah, the game is cool. I believe this is episode 25. Oh, great. This is episode 25. Clearly, we have some favorites here. We got some people you haven't seen in a while. We are here in Atlanta. We are not in a garage, clearly. But we're in an Airbnb, and I'm here with my family because it's our birthday weekend, and so we're celebrating. Actually, today is Jarrell's birthday. Shout out to Jarrell. Happy birthday! Yesterday was my birthday, so we decided to tag team and have a good old time. So, without further ado, I'm going to let the crew introduce themselves, and then we're going to get into it. So, what's poppin', y'all? How y'all feeling? Y'all good?
Feeling great.
Good. All right, let's start off with Polo. Introduce yourself, tell people who you are, and let's rock out.
You already said it, Polo.
Next.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Polo.
I'm Courtney. I am he's been on the podcast before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm this guy's woman and life partner and fiance.
Beyonce, I was about to say the word.
See that title.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's me.
Dope.
I'm Ro, host of Everybody Mad podcast, returning guest. I've been here before, back again.
Mm-hmm.
Happy to be in Atlanta, as always.
Okay. I'm Iffy Natasha. I'm married to X.
Carry on. Okay.
Enough said.
You didn't give any instructions for the introduction.
This isn't your first, okay, whatever.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's not my first time. I'm here back again. Back in the swing of things. I don't know what to do.
Anyway.
Bringing.
All right.
Just edit that.
Right, I'm like.
No, we're gonna stay the same. Go ahead, man.
I'm MJ from Manhattan, from Brooklyn, and happy to be here.
MJ, appreciate it. We like it. All right, so you already know we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna kick back, relax, talk about some stuff that's on our mind, and let's get into what's good with the culture. Y'all already know what's good with the culture is the time where we talk about something that's going on in our culture. And first off, thoughts and prayers and condolences to the Regina King family who lost her son at the age of 26 to suicide. We know suicide is a real deal issue that's plaguing all communities and especially our community. And so our thoughts and prayers are with the King family. What do y'all think about, I guess the notion of suicide and how it's affecting our community? Like, I know it's something that may not be talked about a lot. You know what I'm saying? That people be going through things, whether it's mental health or whatever like that. But we see a lot of people, whether it's young people or older people, taking their own lives. And so what kind of effect do you all think that suicide has on us? Or what are your thoughts on suicide?
Yeah, that's a heavy start.
It's a heavy
I guess get the heavy out the way.
Well, I actually work in healthcare, so this is like something that I kind of see, well, not specifically directly now, but I have in the past, and especially in the Black community, it's still taboo. It's a situation that does not get spoken about a lot, especially with, unfortunately, the older generation, like the parents, they're They see it as like a negative stigma if you have something quote unquote wrong with you. They don't want to talk about it because you're supposed to be quote unquote perfectly fine. You could get through this, you could deal with it, suck it up, or we're told as young boys, man up, stop crying like a girl. Like, no, it's so very much okay to be in touch with your feelings and to talk about your feelings and to talk about what's going on with you and to seek help if it's needed. I think everybody should at least try therapy at least once. It's very much okay to get the things that's bothering you off your chest and to release it, because having that built up is not going to be good in the long term. It's like you're like a ticking time bomb. You just keep piling stuff on, just waiting to explode. And once you get to that breaking point and you go there, you are susceptible to do some wild stuff. And some people like to self-transition. I feel like suicide is not the appropriate term to use.
That's kind of deep.
I feel like saying people gave up when they self-transition is not an appropriate term to use as well. Some people just cannot overcome their demons.
Man.
It is unfortunate, and they self-transition, and I feel like their family and the people closest to them, once they do self-transition, they need as much love as possible, because they always are going to wonder what I didn't do.
Right.
How did I not see this coming? And sometimes it's nothing they can do. It's just there. It just happens. And I feel like that's something that just needs to be a more comfortable conversation to have.
Facts.
No.
The only thing I would challenge there is their demons and just the demons of the world. Because it's like, when you mentioned it, right? I mentioned like really thinking about like life and death recently. And one of my high school friends, Dom, committed suicide. I think it was 2020. And everybody was like, yo, how did that happen? Da da da. And it was something like that was like kind of like Leek said, like Paul said, out of the blue. And I'm just like, what? And I've spent time like really trying to figure out how did he get there, specifically just because like he did some of that I've done, activist work, speaking out about like Black issues and things like that. And the thing I've thought about is like what impact that has, and I've thought about others of us who work in this space and who work in like Black activism, social injustice work, and realizing there's no outlet, there's no real space. There's no place you can go to like talk about that. Paul said therapy, and that's a real space. But if you work through those issues in therapy, where you come to, like I said, isn't always their demons. It's the world sometimes that they're battling. So if you are battling all the stuff in the world, and it's just like people are like, you're gonna make it, or it gets better, and you're just trying to figure it out, and you're unraveling, you're unpacking. It's just like sometimes you're like, oh, the end is okay. And I do think we have to make more space for it.
What does it look like to make space for it though? Because like how you were saying, there's not really a place to talk about that. And at first I was like, well, I feel like there are spaces, but then I imagined myself like walking into a room or like into even therapy and saying it, and the result of the person thinking that you're crazy, or the person thinking that like, oh, I need to medicate you, or I need to put you in the hospital. Like, because I think before you get to that point, I think that there's like these steps that lead up to that point. Like I don't know, I could be incorrect, but I imagine that before you get to a place where you self-transition, I really like that term. Before you get to a place when you self-transition, there's like steps along the way where you've either thought about it, or you're like, you feel helpless, like you're in a deep depression. I think there are steps. And I think it's getting a little easier for us to say, oh, I'm depressed. Like I see that more publicly on social media. Like I think it's getting easier to say I'm depressed or I have anxiety. But I don't know if it's like okay to say like, I feel like committing suicide. I feel like once you say those words, people are super nervous, trying to put you in a hospital. And I think you got to get to a point where you feel like you have no other options, like there's nothing else you can do right in life for you to get to a point where you say, like, I'm just going to move on to the next thing. You disagree?
I don't disagree. I would challenge how, like, the conclusiveness of it. It's just like, do something right. Because, like,
yeah, that's an example.
Like, I go back to, like I said, like, people who work in, like, the activist space and, like, what it is to, like, be black and work in that space. It's troubling. And so, like, you don't have to necessarily look at it as, like, I'm doing something wrong. It's, I no longer want to fight.
Yeah.
And
no,
I no longer want to fight looks like transition.
Yeah, I think doing something right is an example. And honestly, if I can be candid, I think it's a personal example. I think there have been times in my life where I felt like I don't know if I can get anything right anymore. Like, I don't even know if I want to try. Like, if I want to keep fighting to get to a place where I'm doing something right. You know what I mean? And so I just wonder, how do we create spaces where somebody like me or somebody like whoever can come into a space and say, yo, I'm not necessarily at the point where I want to self-transition, but I've had the thought maybe one too many times. And so, like, where do I go from there? What can I do? Because there's therapy, and I think therapy helps, but I think there's also so many other things. There's so many other angles to it that I don't know the solution personally, but I just wonder, how do we create those spaces?
Yeah, I think community is something that I think we need to take a look at as well, because what I think everybody battles with their own demons and everybody has their own thing that they're dealing with. But it's like, I always wonder, was there no one to call, or was there no one checking in, or was there no one you felt loved you enough for you to be able to communicate, like, this is what's going on with me? You know what I mean? And I think about Regina King, this star-studded actress who's probably got, a lot going on. I don't know how often she's around her kids and stuff like that, how often she's been around, but I'm sure right now she's devastated. You know what I mean? She's grieving. And again, that's why we said thoughts and prayers and condolences to her. But, like, did her son have someone that he could have spoken with, or he could have talked to? Like, I know somebody who self-transitioned and over heartbreak, you know what I mean? And it's like feeling like they couldn't live any longer without this particular person in their life. Like, and so it's like, does community have a space to be in, a part of those spaces to talk about? And do people who are thinking about self-transitioning, feel like their community is strong enough to love them enough in that space? You know what I mean? I'm not sure, but
I think that, like, when it comes to community, and just in general, like, when it comes to trying to find that space, I think if people have gotten to the point of, like, they want to self-transition, their mind is made up, it doesn't matter what anybody can do. Like, there is no saving you from that point, because you are battling with your own, like, self. And nothing external is going to be able to come in and say, like, okay, we can do therapy, we can do, talking, we can give you love, we can give you whatever you need. Like, all of that is just Band-Aids. I think that when the person has gotten to that point, unfortunately, like, there's nothing that anybody can save them from. And I think that people just have to, like you said, like, their families just kind of have to, like, sit and settle with that, because it's not their fault. And no matter what they did to, like, leading up to that point, whether they did something, like you said, right or wrong, that's not for anything external. I think it's really just, like, self realizing that this is the space, this is where I'm at, and that's what it is.
Dope. Yeah, man. Well, again, thoughts and prayers to the King family. We pray that Regina and the rest of her family find the healing that they need, and they continue to move forward in a space of love. Transitioning from a heavy topic to a very controversial topic. Many of us have seen the viral video of the Fresh and Fit podcast. They've had mad people on it, randoms, influencers, academics, celebrities, whatever. But there was a clip of one of their episodes where a lot of black women were feeling like they were being disrespected they were disrespecting black women in their clip, right? So then they put out a response video to the outcry stating that this is just our preference. We prefer not to date black women, right? We have no problem inviting black women to the show, blah, 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 but this is our preference. You know what I'm saying? And then later on said, you can get with, and they use some derogatory name, not like a slur, but just like LaQuisha or something like that, or the darkies or something like that to describe black women. And I guess the question is, I mean, specifically to the black women, how do you feel about African or black men or any man sharing about their preference of who they choose to date that is not, I guess, referred to as black women? Like they're not saying like black women, we with y'all, you know what I mean? Or we like to date you all. Is that problematic for someone to vocalize that preference on a public platform? Or is it like, if you ain't got nothing good to say, shut up? Yeah, you just be free. So what do y'all think?
I mean, like,
And the black men can talk to if they want to. Go ahead,
who
Court.
asked you? Like, I didn't even ask for your opinions. I don't care if you don't want to date me as a black woman, because guess what? I probably don't even want to date your ass in the first fucking place anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of the times, like, black women are, like, black people in general are stereotyped. But I feel like when it comes to black women, like, we're at the bottom of the totem pole. We are always having to be strong, the stronger ones in our communities, uphold everything, fix everything. And, like, I feel like that part of it takes so much of a toll on us that for anybody to try to step in and say, like, I don't want to date you, I'm not attracted to you, like, honestly, that's your loss, because black women are friggin' phenomenal, and there's nothing that anybody in my race, outside of my race, can say to me and, like, make me feel other than what I know is that I'm fucking dope. So if you don't want to hop on this train, bye, you can catch the bus somewhere else, but this train is going, and jump on or not.
Yeah. I think the problem that I find is, like, if that's your if you have a preference, if you like to date Asian women, you like to date Latina women, then you can say that. You don't have to say, well, actually, I don't like black women.
Right.
That's not, your preference is what you like. It's not what you don't like, right? So when you think about the additional energy it spends to say exactly what you don't like about this one particular group, it's like, well, do you have an obsession? Like, what is happening there that you have to say it so hard, what you don't like?
Yeah.
If you have a preference and it's something that you enjoy and you want to date and you want to be romantically involved in, you can just say, I really like Latina women for this reason, or I only date, you know what I mean? You don't have to put other people down. And I think that ends up being the biggest part of the conversation. It's like, why do you always have to diss black women in your preference of another race?
They have to diss black women to just put another group of women up, and I don't get it. I think it's also like your mother is black, your grandmother's black, you have aunts, aunts, cousins, sisters that are black women, and the disrespect is ridiculous. But honestly, we do have to do more as black men to protect black women in these spaces and in general, because if we're not holding each other accountable, then that's how this continues.
That's real.
So,
No, go ahead.
So I posted this because, it's Aquarius season and shit. Common theme for Aquarian: you'll never hear us badmouth another to elevate ourselves. And I think this goes to MJ's point. It's just like, there's no need to badmouth.
That's actually true.
There's I'm cool. Like, I date these type of women. And I feel like it's stupid, honestly, to make those stereotypical assertions, because, like, have you never seen Real Housewives of Orange County? Like, what was that other show, Jersey Shore? Like, white women acting in the same manners that you place upon black women. And so it's like, bro, you are showing that you're just blind, and you're talking just to talk.
Right.
And it's like, stop. Just simply it. Just stop.
I feel like it almost becomes one of those things where it's like like a clickbait type of situation, almost like, oh, I'm like, because there's really no need for you to express that you don't want to date black women and all the reasons why you don't want to date black women. I don't want to date white men, but I don't need to like make a dissertation about it. Like if I got on social media and was like, these are the reasons I don't date white men, they'd be like, oh, okay. White men don't, okay, like who can't, like why would you do that? And I think I don't think any other person, to my recollection, nobody else does that. Black women don't do that. White men don't do that. Like black men specifically feel the need, not all of them obviously, but these black men feel the need to talk about why they don't want to date black women. But nobody else does that. So it's not like a culture norm. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we all go around talking about who we don't like to date. It's like for some specific reason, these men feel the need to talk about who they don't want to date. And I think it's deeper than just saying it. Like
just a trauma response.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think it's real trash. And I'm not in support of it. And y'all are trash for sitting there trashing our queens. Like, I'm not with it. But I will say that I think if someone asks you a question, who are the type of women you date? And you give that response, like, sometimes I feel like people respond not trying to be malicious. They're just literally trying to answer the question, right? It's like, what type of women are you into? Well, I'm into creative women, or you know what I mean? So, but I will say I think we need to be more intentional, specifically when we have mics and platforms where people are going to be affected, that we are careful what type of messaging we want to put out there. If you are African or of African descent, right, and you don't prefer those type of women, fine, you know what I mean? But for you to vocalize it in the tone and the manner in which you do comes off very disrespectful and demeaning and condescending. And I don't think that helps our community as a whole. It may help you as an entity, but I think that we should be more responsible. And we should give props what props should do. You know what I mean? Black women have built our communities and structures, and they've done a lot, and they're amazing, and they're gorgeous, and they're exotic, and I love them. So I think we all need to be mindful of that. But thank you, guys, for that conversation. Last but not least, and what's good with the culture, there has been a rise of female MCs who are killing the game. Okay. Last podcast, y'all know I talked about Cardi going diamond for the third time. And that's record breaking. How do y'all feel just about the rise of the female MC, in the game? Because remember, there was a time where they were mad silent. And now I feel like they got their foot on their necks. You know what I mean? So yes. How y'all feel about that?
Oh, yes. I was
gonna let somebody else take that one.
I love it. Okay, because my Apple Music Apple Music is high maintenance playlist, and my Spotify Feeling Myself playlist is all female rappers. It might have like some R&B, like hip hoppy tracks thrown in there, but it gives me life. Like it's like literally. I play that whenever I really want to just like tune into my dope shit.
That's all the time.
I mean,
she play it all the time on repeat. On repeat.
It is pretty much all the time. But it's just like I think it's really dope because like I can say that I strayed away from hip hop a little bit because I got tired of the misogyny that was in it, and I got tired of just always hearing about fucking bitches and getting drugs and all that stuff. So I like strayed away from it. But then like with Nicki Minaj was kind of like the first kind of female rapper to really like pop. Relax. And and I liked her, but then she got poppy. And then I couldn't get with that. And I think like maybe Cardi was maybe the next one, and she kept it real. She kept it hood. She kept it from New York. She kept it, just like how...
Staying a Bronx queen.
Right? Yeah. Just like how men will talk about, all of the things sexually and how they play in women and everything. Like Cardi and Megan and Sweetie and all of them, like City Girls, like they're coming with the same energy. And yes, sis.
Yeah.
Like, yes. I love it.
So, you know what really, like, because she really be having this playlist on all the time. All the time. what I really like am just in awe about, like I just love it when I say in awe, because I'm not shocked. But Lotto?
Yo, Lotto tops.
That was gonna be the next person I said, because I love me some Lotto. I really just wish she would just
shorty!
Like, I was really upset when she did the name change and she didn't make it Big Lotto. Just like what I said.
I don't even think she needed to change her name in the first fucking place. Listen, you are of color. You could have chosen to call yourself Mulatto. I'm sorry. Like that is a choice that you can decide for yourself. I don't give a fuck what you about the whole like concept of where it came from. That's fine. Go ahead. Like if you want to call yourself blackface, go ahead, rock on out. Put gas on the pedal. Like don't let nobody tell you to put a brake on it. Like go with your shit.
I listened to her 2020 Netflix freshman freestyle a lot.
She's dope.
Yeah.
Dope. And she writes her own.
Like to know the story, the story, like to have seen like the.
She started doing with the rap game.
Keep putting it in the mix.
Yeah.
She's nice. But my thing is like I segue because he said she is half black, half white. I get sick and tired of seeing the argument online. Oh, but she's not fully black though. She can't. Why does she say certain? But y'all don't say nothing when it's Drake
or Cole,
J. Cole, even Logic. When they say the N word, stuff like she is a half black, half white woman. She identifies as a black woman. Everything she talks about is black issues. Black, like that is a black woman. Like, oh no, she's only half. Like, I really need people to stop policing this one drop rule. It's like that has to stop. That has to stop.
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna get nowhere unless we stop fighting each other. And realize this.
Yeah. I think black women are killing the game. Of course, I love Nicki Minaj. I hope that you admit it. I hope one day that we get married just to say we effing did it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm dead serious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love Nicki Minaj. Everybody knows that. But I think she definitely ushered in the new wave, and I think she opened up the doors and then of course Rim came home, you know what I mean, had the city lit for a little bit. Then Cardi, you know what I mean, got that Bodak Yellow went out of control, and that kind of just gave everybody the opportunity to. She's
skyrocketed so past music.
And that's.
I literally had to look at it. Her last album was about to be 4 years old. Her first only album. About in 2018.
Yes, I think it's opened up the doors for them to be able to move into different spaces, like Cash Doll on BMF. You know what I mean? And Cardi, doing these. What's her show? She does where she's like Cardi Tries. You know what I mean? It's giving people Megan Thee Stallion getting these Nike endorsements and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people are now getting opportunities and being able to be seen that weren't being able to be seen before. You know what I mean?
Look at the endorsements that they get too. Sweetie.
McDonald's.
Burger King. Sweetie Meal. Megan got the Burger King. Sweetie had the Fox with the ranch, whatever.
I'm so happy for them.
Get
all of the money.
They
get all of the money.
And that's what Sweetie's never released an album either. I think she's just so far ahead of just being just a rapper. Like they're just getting all the money. They're getting to everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's
great.
It's great.
Does it matter the content too? So I know, didn't Megan have another video with
Shinsea?
And they were talking about why is the content always this?
And that's my
Megan
only
talk
issue.
about the degrees, sis. Like talk about something else.
No.
So does the content matter?
That's my
I think
only
you said it
issue.
earlier when you said, makes you feel like a dope bitch, right? Like, does the content matter? Should they be talking about something else?
Because nobody
have a
said
bigger
anything
responsibility.
when y'all were talking about suck an N-word D or something. Nobody said anything when y'all was talking about like all these other songs with men talking about their dick and how many girls they're with and all of that. Like nobody said anything about that. So why can't women have the same sexual freedoms?
My only issue is especially with Shinsea. Every time I see a freestyle of hers, it makes me feel like empowered. Like just the way that she flows and her freestyles. Like I think she's so dope. But then when she came out with the song with Megan, I was like, why is this the song? Like, I feel like her flow, I feel like she could get on a beat and flow and make a dope-ass song with her spitting about whatever the fuck, her being dope. But then she made the song about, like, licking pussy. I'm like, what? But why?
But go ahead.
I feel like Meg, there's a track, I can't remember the track, where Meg literally talks about graduating in 2021.
I'm not talking about Meg. I think Meg is in her lane.
But so it's just like
I think
so. It's just like
where she should be.
The accolades that we want are in there. And so, like, let's really not critique it. Like, nigga, Jay-Z is literally in court in New York talking about let's not look at rappers' lyrics as actual content to use to prosecute them.
Right.
So if that is the case there, like, stop using it as some sort of culture measurement. Like, no,
but just as rap purists, we cannot act as if there weren't other type of MCs getting shine at the same time. Those who were just talking about, knocking down women and
it's not about just also. It's not about it's not even about. I think there are women who need to talk about like us going out and getting our shit with these niggas and like having sex, all that. Like we need that too. I need that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I also want the other side of it. I want both. Like I want to listen to. But I don't want to have just one artist to go listen to.
There's others.
There are others, but that's all I'm saying. With Shenseea, I'm like, cool. Like we already had the WAP though. Like that's great. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even like if the song was amazing, then I'd be like, oh okay. Like
that's what the pushback.
You know what I'm saying?
But
the song wasn't amazing.
Critique the song. Like critique that.
But I think it's okay.
Because
it wasn't her flow. It was literally.
It was the song wasn't good. But I think it's okay.
The song.
But
a lot of people are saying it's just not.
No,
good.
it's just not good.
Critique the song, but the critique was
critiquing the song.
The critique was the content. Like, oh, they shouldn't be rapping about this.
But I think she got on that song. No, she wasn't really even rapping like that on that song. That's my thing. If she got on that song and rap like she be rapping in them freestyles, I feel like she would have had a better song.
But here's the thing. I think Cardi said there's two things. I think Cardi said like, yo, I wanted when I was rapping, people wasn't jacking it. They wasn't with it. Like y'all only support this type of rap. So because you all support this type of rap, I'm going to give you this type of rap. However, there are the Rhapsodies, the No Names, and all these other women out here who can actually rap. You know what I mean? Who can sit there and body that. That's one thing. Two though, I think is like you do need more variety. I think Nas, when Cole wrote I Let Nas Down, right? Cole said that Nas said, damn, why he had to do it like this? Like, you the next one. You the best, but you went and did this. And Cole's response was like, man, I thought you would understand. You made, who was it? You owe me. Like, you know what I mean? I thought you understand. There are some times where not even just women, artists will put out music to play to the mainstream radio or to whatever like that, so that they can have an open opportunity to continue to further advance what their messaging is, right? But then there are some artists who want to stick to, well, this is who I am. Either you're gonna accept me for who I am or you not. I think there needs to be space for both. You know what I mean? There needs to be the Lauryn Hill just as much as there needs to be the Lil' Kim. Both are phenomenal MCs. Both are dope, and both played a role in hip hop culture. It just seems though sometimes that the ones who are elevated have a certain level of same content wise. I think that's why is there not diversity? But I think there's not diversity or the diversity is not elevated because the consumer only consumes this type of music.
And with the consumer only, that goes to the sexualization of women, yes, of course, which is another conversation for another day. But I personally, I think that there are both ways and there are spaces for these MC rappers to provide both topics. But like I said, personally, it just gives me life just to see women thriving exactly how men are. Yeah. And even better, especially with today's rap game, even better. And getting their bag. Get your bag, sis.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, definitely shout out to all the female MCs out there. Let's continue to elevate them, push their music and stuff like that. Really quick, what y'all been listening to lately? What's in y'all rotation? Who's should the people be keeping an eye out?
I've been heavy on my R&B bag. Mooney Law, Hours and Hours, has me in a chokehold. Yeah. It's going to have me in a chokehold for some time.
Shout out to Money Law.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I mean, I already told y'all, my Apple, High Maintenance, my Spotify, Feeling Myself. I also do love Lucky Day. He's a fairly new.
That joint he
artist.
got where he samples the music Have Crazy.
Yes, love that song. Like
you heard it, it's fine.
There are a lot of R&B artists that are getting back to R&B.
Yeah.
Which
let's get back to R&B, please.
Not so much the men.
Not so much the men, but that's a whole.
The women have been there.
Yeah, the men are.
Trying to be rappers, but
Well, that's another topic for another day. Anybody else?
I'm still spinning the off season. Like that's still in rotation.
Definitely.
And pretty much anything Griselda puts out. It's just them voices.
Cool.
And hours and hours. That's gonna be a song that
that's gonna last for a long time.
It's gonna last forever. It's gonna be
anything she comes out afterwards is gonna be compared to that, and it's gonna be unfair. But that's just how good that damn song is.
Yeah. Because we're gonna 10 years from now you're gonna put it on and it's gonna bring you
back to a memory.
It's gonna feel new. It's like when you put on Maxwell's like Fortunate.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
Wow.
Come on.
You hear it.
Yeah.
Your body reacts.
Yeah. That's right.
You know it, but you still react as if it was new.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just how that song just starts with that beat that gets me.
Anybody else?
I'm honestly always listening to her. And
Damage is a monster.
India.Arie. Like I'm you know, I don't really stray from my norms, but yeah, I feel like those are the two people that I listen to. And then if I'm in the mood though to like get some shit done, I'm listening to Deontay Hitchcock.
Facts. MJ?
The only thing that I can think of, but she's not black, so I don't know if does that count?
What?
I said the only one I can think of is an album that I'm listening to.
Yeah.
But she's not black. Does that count?
It's okay. You don't have to be black.
Well, it's Adele, but I say Adele because her last album, the recent album 30, if you listen to it, there's a lot of like gospel,
that
soul,
album
there's a lot of jazz, and I don't know if it's just Adele like transitioning and elevating her music and her evolution, or if it's Rich Paul. Like I'm not sure exactly what exactly it is for her, but the album is really good. So I've been having that on rotation, and I'm also super emotional. So there's a lot of songs that
There was one song I played on that album that literally just made me cry, and I don't even think I was feeling anything specifically about what the song was about, but it was just her voice, like her passion. Like I was like, this is crazy.
Yes, salute to Adele. I've been listening to Cordae from A Bird's Eye View. I think it's a pretty dope project. I also listened to Jim Jones' new Gangsta Grills, We Set the Trends. Shout out to Jim Jones for still being relevant in 2022.
Who would have thought he would be it?
Jimmy is still tapped in. Of course, the off season is always still a good one. But yeah. And shout out to what's his last name is Stith. Tone Stith. Shout out to Tone Stith. He got some good R&B music out there that I bang with. You know what I mean? So. That's dope. All right, let's get into next topic is the crossroads. You know, that's when we talk about issue of faith, and the world went crazy when Pastor Michael Todd of Transformation Church of Oklahoma used the illustration by using spit to represent, something that Jesus did in the scriptures, and he spit in his mouth. I mean, he didn't spit in his mouth. He spit in his hand and put spit on his brother's eyes to
during the pandemic
to illustrate what's going on. So clearly, let's talk about it. How you felt about it? Was it unnecessary? Did you get the point?
Disgusting.
Okay.
It made me uneasy. I'm thinking about it now. It's like, bro, really?
Why was it disgusting?
You spit in your hand.
Why wasn't it justified?
I'm gonna let you know.
Why wasn't it justified?
Let's do
There's
this
a whole pandemic going on.
You got time today?
We got time.
In Jesus.
I have faith in Jesus, but still, there's a whole pandemic going on right now.
You put your faith and your trust.
Okay, I don't even know. Are we taking them seriously?
Why wasn't it justified?
Because he spit in his hand and then did the little.
I think spit in general is just nasty.
Yeah, like, he said in the name of Jesus, he blessed it.
No,
he didn't bless it.
He didn't bless it.
He didn't bless it. He wasn't a pastor, so it wasn't just natural.
No, that's not.
It wasn't from the. I'm being real serious.
I like it.
What happened was he was telling the scripture when Jesus spits on a blind man to make him be able to see again. So
was
he
his point, though?
he gave the illustration about how sometimes like you don't many people probably at this point when Jesus is about to do this probably would turn away from Jesus because you hear the spit. He was like, but this man was trying to get vision. He wanted to see. You know what I mean? So Jesus spit on the man, asked him if he could see. You know what I'm saying? He said, no, I couldn't see. It looks like trees and stuff like that. So he didn't spit on him again. He just touched him, and then he was able to see. And so that was the example. He was just using the illustration of could we be in that type of setting like the blind man to be able, if we heard the spit of Jesus, if we allow Jesus to spit on us, you know what I'm saying, in order to be healed.
So in that moment, he's showing it that it's an order. I feel like it's a vessel. So
what's the metaphor for, though? Like, what does the spit of Jesus look like in our lives?
In our lives, he talked about how it's a humiliating thing to be spat on. You know what I mean? It's like demeaning and disrespectful. So God could put you in a situation where you may feel like this is demeaning to me. Like I'm too proud. No, Jesus, you about to tell me to leave this career and go do this? You know what I mean? Could you be spat on? Could you have God's DNA, you know what I mean, to be able to be in a situation that seems humiliating, you know what I mean, for his glory to be known? That was the point.
And this is why I asked, why wasn't it justified?
Do you think that this video and this illustration gave God glory?
And this is why I asked.
I think that the video...
I'm asking everybody.
Do I think that it gave God... I don't know if the illustration gave God glory because I think it may have distracted, which he then came and apologized and said it distracted from what the point was. But I understood why he was doing it. You know what I'm saying? As a person who operates in that type of space and have done things that Jesus has done, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand the point of trying to get people to draw in. Now, would I have spat in my... No, I wouldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? Just personally. But I don't, I'm not one that's like, yo, let's cancel him. Let's get him out of here. Let's do all that stuff because he's trying to make an illustration of something that Jesus actually did. But the argument is, well, first of all, you're not Jesus, which he's not claiming to be. 2, this man wasn't blind. He wasn't trying to be healed, which again, he understands. Like the point is the illustration of could you be one where if Jesus said, yo, let's get out of here and I want to heal you, but
I just think there would have been better ways to illustrate humiliation.
I agree. I think that
you could have tripped him on the stage or something.
He could have got some water and just said, "Okay."
Right. It could have been water.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be his
natural spit. Yeah.
And I feel like you said, one, Michael Todd is not Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And like I tune into Transformation Church every now and then, and he does do these like grand gestures. Mm-hmm. To make his point, and it comes across. I think in this instance, because of the nature and the way in which he chose to do it, obviously it didn't come across. Because even like as I tried to go back a little while ago, and like I ain't get that point. I just couldn't get over the fact that he's fake.
Yeah, right. Because like what at that point the point is gone.
It's gone,
like,
and it's just like to a certain level. Like I think there does have to be levels to how you're going to get your point across. Yeah. And especially when it comes down to something like, I wasn't back then when Jesus spit in the blind man's face, so I don't know, maybe that wasn't considered something that was humiliating at that point in time. But in today's society, in today's modern age, that's disgusting and that's humiliating. So if you want to do the actions of Jesus to make a point or to try to, get out what it is that you're trying to get across, that like you have to figure out how you're going to make that point and that it still resonates in this modern day and age, especially with the internet where they're going to take a clip and it's going to go wild and it's going to run. Right. So I think that that's like what's not really being considered or what wasn't considered in that gesture. But like he does do those things all the time. I just think this was extreme.
So I feel like there's no way that he wasn't putting that together. And he was like, this is wild. There's no way. There's no way. However, I feel like he was like, this is going to be in the name of the Lord and it's going to be okay. And so I feel like there's too many things that we put on the name of the Lord, and it's just like, well, I'm God and this, and I feel like this is one of them, and I feel like it furthers this sort of way in which we live, where we blur lines and we try to find the way to make it feel okay. And at the end of the day, there's going to be people who look at this and is like, yes, like that was it. Like he's pouring out in the manners in which the Lord would want him to. And there are many of us who are like, bro, you are wilding out. Like, it is still a pandemic going on. Like, you really just like, so what if you got tested? Like, we know that, like, Omicron out here, like, running it up. Mm-hmm. Quick. Mm-hmm. And so, like, you really just gonna go do all that? Like, and then even beyond that, like, the understanding that we have of decency. Of, you know, of, like just decency, like, It was wild, and so I feel like we have to really start to just pause a little bit more, like really just pause a little bit more, and really just like start asking like, yo, what are we doing?
Yeah, well, that was good, y'all. Man, figure out what you want to do in terms of whether or not you rocking with Michael Todd or not. But yeah, let's be a little bit more mindful of our illustrations. And also, let's be like him and apologize when we get something wrong. You know what I mean? And, you know, try to do better. You know what I mean? Now's everybody's favorite part of the show. Top 5. You already know top 5 is when we get into an argument, a debate of top 5 things. And we said we were going to be spontaneous on the spot today. So what are top 5 things we should argue about, fam?
Top 5 greatest Disney movies.
Okay, let's go. That's good. That's good. All right, cool. All right, top 5 Disney movies.
Like
all right.
Really
all right. This is, I live here.
Me
okay,
too.
All right. Throw it out there. What's number 5?
Okay. I gotta think.
All right. Number 5.
Okay, can we throw out?
I'm gonna
movies?
go.
Can
I'm
we
gonna
throw
go.
out movies and then
I think maybe Finding Nemo is a good 5.
I wouldn't even say Princess and Frog makes the top 5.
Me.
Sure that black movie.
Listen. The issue I have with Princess and the Frog is the whole plot. The first time you get a black Disney princess, you make her a frog for most of the movie.
Okay.
That's my same issue with Soul.
I think Princess and the Frog.
That's my same issue with Soul.
Yep.
The first time you get a main character in a Disney Pixar movie, he's a soul for the majority.
Yep.
He's not even a black person you see anymore. Like, that's my issue with that. Both of those movies.
Yeah, that's true.
They can't be.
Those were both really good movies.
They were. But they can't. No.
Yeah. Can't be top 5.
And
Soul was really good.
And the thing about it is, they sold both of those movies as black representation.
Yeah.
And then when you actually watch them, where's the black representation?
Okay.
I mean, it's in there.
So they don't get
not as much.
So they don't get number 5. What gets to number 5 though?
Okay, I'm just telling you right now. Number 1 is Lion King. So we
That's
just
a fact.
that.
First of all, The Lion King is my favorite movie.
That's 1.
Period.
So we can work from
Lion
2 to
King
5.
is 1.
We can work from 2 to
Yes,
5.
The original
The Lion King
1993.
is
Whatever.
as long as you come to that.
I think Aladdin needs to be number 2.
Aladdin is definitely on the list as well.
I was gonna say, to be fair, Lion King, whether you like the movie or not, I think it's had such a spot in the culture
Yeah.
for black people that it will always be top.
Yeah, I
Like,
was trying to
it's
think.
not that
I was trying to
big
think
of
of
a
one
movie,
better
like,
than Lion King, and I was like, well, I actually don't think I can.
No.
Lion King, Aladdin, Toy Story got to be in there.
Toy Story.
Okay.
The first Toy Story.
Aladdin
The first Toy Story was good.
You don't think of
I don't think Aladdin needs to be in there either.
Top 5?
What? Aladdin is. I think it's number
I think there are
2.
so many movies that have come out.
In what terms are you contexting Aladdin not being top 5? Are you talking about like in terms of cinematography and stuff like that? It don't make because like you could say like because you could say some of the like Disney colors,
overall content, the story was trying to tell about whatever.
Even the impact that it has on you when you watch it.
Which is good, but like
this is cool.
Okay, the guy gets the girl.
Yeah, and I disagree. I think Aladdin is a great story, fantasy, which is my thing. And rags to riches, people of color, like I think that it was a great movie for.
But that, and that's why.
Not two. I don't want to watch.
Oh, I wouldn't say two. I would say top 5.
Okay, all right.
So Aladdin.
What's better? What's better?
Maybe 5.
Maybe.
So you threw out Finding Nemo.
I think Nemo is top tier.
Hercules.
I'm a Hercules fan, but no.
Hercules was good,
No.
but it's
It was
not
good, but it ain't
top
top 5.
Okay,
Like
so
top
maybe
5 is like,
top 10.
these are what I'm going to show my kids, okay?
Yeah.
My kids are
So
watching.
We're talking about old school
Ne-
Disney. We're talking about
Because
there's
I mean,
a lot
there-
of new Disney movies.
Moana got to be up there too. Like,
Moana is dope.
Moana might be number 3.
Talking about Coco.
Coco was good.
Coco was good, but I don't know if it was.
Moana is over Coco for top 5.
Mulan.
What?
Pocahontas?
Mulan is
Not
definitely
Pocahontas.
in there.
Definitely not. Get Pocahontas. But the Jungle Book, though.
Jungle Book is not in there.
Yep.
If Mulan is not in the top 5, Jungle Book is definitely not in the top 5.
1,000% agree.
Okay. All right.
Mulan was a good. I just watched Mulan like 2 weeks ago.
Wait, what
Yeah,
was it?
Mulan was good.
Wait, what's not in there?
I said Jungle Book, and she was like,
Absolutely. Who has Jungle? No.
That's like Pinocchio.
Beauty and the Beast. Okay,
Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast got to be up there.
Cinderella's number 2.
Cinderella's not
Beauty and the Beast is definitely up.
2.
Beauty and the Beast is
I give it a 3. I give 3.
As much as
I don't
I
know.
don't want to do this because people try to say this is better than Lion King, you have to put Frozen in there.
I agree.
Okay, so
Frozen for the culture
from an
and
impact standpoint,
impact?
yes, but Frozen from a
Storytelling.
movie standpoint,
The fact that it's not the girl kisses the guy and they fall in love. It's like, no,
it was a good movie.
That's a different kind of. Like,
It's a
I've
good-
seen it too many times.
I think if you would have asked Brooklyn if Frozen is top 5, yes. But us, no. I think for me,
That's
yeah.
what that we need to clarify.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, we can get Lion King as number 1. I think, to me, and we can but I feel like Aladdin
What
is
about
up there.
101
I think
Dalmatians?
Moana, 101 Dalmatians.
Maybe it's like number 7.
I feel like
7. I can do 7.
I think, I don't know. I still feel like Nemo is up there,
Nemo
bro.
was good.
Nemo was
I
up there,
I feel like
bro.
Nemo would be 5 for me. Yeah, 5 or 6.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame?
No.
No.
But Esmeralda, I did like that movie.
But Beauty and the Beast,
Beauty and the Beast for sure.
Aladdin,
Number 3.
So we got the Lion King. We got Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast,
Aladdin is
Nemo.
not in there.
Why? Who? Why? What don't y'all?
Aladdin is
Jafar? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The flying carpet? The flying the genie? What are we talking about here?
Aladdin's like 3 or 4.
Okay.
Gotta be.
3 or 4. I will do 3 or 4.
Okay, fine.
I would do 3
3 or 4.
Okay, so if Aladdin is in, are we saying Toy Story is in?
No.
Then I don't agree with this.
But here's the thing. Toy Story is we knew it as a Pixar movie. Even though
Toy Story is Pixar.
Even though Disney bought Pixar,
Right.
it was not originally
Originally a Disney
a
movie.
Pixar.
Okay.
So we're not putting up. We're not putting.
Nope.
If you didn't see if you didn't see the doom doom doom
Okay.
with Magic Kingdom,
Okay.
no.
That's not it. I think that's a good clarification.
Does Hook count? Not Peter Pan,
Hook was good.
but does Hook count?
That means The Incredibles is out there.
Hook
We're
was
talking
good.
about
Yeah,
Pixar.
That's a good question. If Hook counts.
Does Hook count? Because if Hook counts,
Hook was good, but I don't know if it's top 5.
Rufio.
7 or 8.
Yeah,
I would say
that's
9, 10.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I think Incredibles is a good.
But it's Pixar.
If it's a Disney movie,
The Little Mermaid.
I said The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, The Little Mermaid was dope. However,
What's
she
getting The
sold
Little
her
Mermaid?
entire life and her soul for a man. No, sis, that ain't it.
But people do that all the time.
That's
So then I feel like we gotta go with Nemo. I feel like we gotta go with Nemo at that point.
that. So I think so. We're at which? Well, I'll give you Beauty and the Beast as 2. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're gonna go Lion King 1,
Lion
Beauty and the
King,
Beast. Okay, what's better than Beauty and the Beast?
I won't argue. We can keep it at 2. I just want to state that I disagree. But we can keep it at 2.
What's better than Beauty
I
and the
don't
Beast?
know, I
Though?
don't know.
So
Okay.
Beauty should not be top 5.
No, definitely top
Okay,
5.
Just number 2.
I think just it's not a personal favorite of mine. Like I would put Mulan over Beauty and the Beast.
Nah.
But that's just because
For
I
the
like
content, yes.
like
And the message.
Mulan is one of my
Have you seen The
favorites.
Jungle Book?
I did, but they tried to play me like the Jungle Book wasn't a.
Jungle Book is a
I
solid.
like Oliver and Company as well.
Oh what?
That was one of my favorite movies as a kid.
That's solid.
People sleep on that.
was good.
I know we didn't throw out Bambi or Dumbo out there, but I don't feel like
There's
they
a
were.
reason why we didn't. Throw
Yeah,
them.
exactly. All right, so we're going Lion King number 1, Beauty and the Beast number 2, Aladdin 3. We can do Mulan 4 and Nemo 5.
There we go.
Is that a solid?
This is
No.
It's Pixar.
I would have Aladdin or I
That's
would
wild
not have
to me.
Aladdin in the top 5. If this was my top 5 and I had to write them down, I definitely
So
would
you
have
would
Aladdin.
replace what Aladdin with Mulan?
Probably.
We put Mulan up there.
But I would not. I don't.
You put Mulan higher than Aladdin.
She wouldn't. I don't think she would.
Aladdin wouldn't be on there at all.
maybe
Yeah.
7. Maybe
I don't
7.
think she puts Aladdin in her top 5.
I can't
I'm
believe.
about to go watch that right now. Like that's dope.
I don't.
Okay.
Like, I watch Mulan like once or twice a year.
I'm with
saying?
Mulan. You know what I mean?
Everybody
Even though I didn't watch Mulan until I was an adult. Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Mulan's.
Eddie Murphy was hilarious as a dragon.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Eddie Murphy was hilarious.
So, all right. So, are we cool with that? We're doing 1.
Oh, Shrek was good.
Does Shrek count
Wait,
as
Shrek
Disney?
Monsters, Inc. is
Shrek is
Pixar.
Shrek is DreamWorks.
Yeah, yeah.
If
Yeah.
Shrek was good,
Disney,
though.
That was DreamWorks.
Monsters.
Yeah.
gotta be in there.
Monsters was so good.
And Boss Baby.
Love that.
But, yeah. So, number 1 is Lion King. Number 2 is Beauty and the Beast. Number 3 is Aladdin. Number 4 is Mulan. And number 5 is Finding
Say
Nemo.
Aladdin. It makes me
Wild.
mad.
Every time you say Mulan, not Toy Story, I'm losing it. But Toy Story is Pixar, so it's fine.
Yes. I think that was a good comprehensive list. That was good.
I hate it, but I will deal. I will deal. I will deal. I will deal.
All right,
I
family.
wanted to be known that Simba was a black man too.
He was a black man. Simba was a black man.
Was Timon and Pumbaa
Mufasa was black.
as well black?
Timon and Pumbaa were
Timon
also
was
black.
black too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't care if Simba
Yes.
was voiced by a white actor. He was black.
Absolutely black. Everybody's not gonna be
Pumbaa
black.
was a great.
Great.
Everybody.
And that's why they did a live adaptation with all the black actors because they were black.
Facts. All right, so did everybody have a good time today?
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
The Disney one was great.
Yes, thank y'all so much.
Bring that back.
Yes.
It's just a movie one.
Yeah, next time we'll do movies or whatever like
Rom
that.
coms,
All that.
black films.
Yeah.
What's the Parent Trap is Disney?
Ooh.
It is Disney. It is a Disney movie. It's on Disney Plus.
Good movie. I watched that too.
It's on Disney Plus. It's a Disney movie. All right, so everybody, tell them how they can get in contact with you, how they can find you if they want to connect with you. Last round of what's going on with you. Polo, we'll start with you.
Instagram, Twitter, Polo Brandon. That's where I'm at.
I'm Instagram, Court Janelle. I also have a sneaker blog. In case you like to follow, it's called Sneak Chic. It is also on Instagram at Sneak Chic.
This is Ro, and you can find me at Everybody Mad Pod. I'm gonna close out with just rounding everything up. Black people, it's okay to do the bare minimum. It's absolutely okay. Like, we gotta be comfortable just doing
I thought we were
the
just
bare
giving
minimum.
our like.
That's how we end
Just let him live. It's his birthday. Let him live.
Wow.
Let him live.
Wow.
No, because I think it's important to wrap this up. Like, I think
Sidebar,
it's
that's
important to
the Snoop line?
like.
It's
I think it's important to like just bring it all
Yeah.
together and just say like, cause like I feel like the topic centered like this point of it's okay to do the bare minimum, like in the context of giving condolences, and thinking about processing suicide. Like it's not on you. Do the bare minimum.
Way to bring that full circle.
Worrying about Mulatto's name and the fact that she's half white and she fully is recognizing her black side. Let it go. Do the bare minimum. It doesn't always have to be in the name of Jesus. Do the bare minimum. It's okay.
I actually like that last line.
And so that's just what I want to say. Like, go forward. Do the bare minimum. Stop.
Thank you, sir.
It was a great anecdote. If you Natasha on Instagram and Twitter and all the things, ifyounatasha.com, therightpieces.com, all of those things.
You spell right because you might.
Oh, the right piece is spelled with a W, like the right pieces, WRITE.
Cool. MJ?
Awesome. Instagram being_Marianne, as in being Mary Jane. I did that copy. That's it.
Good job. All right. Definitely you can catch me at I am Xavier Brandon pretty much on everything. XavierBrandon.com. You can still cop Crossroads You can still listen to the Spirit Mix Volume 2. You can book me if you need something, holla at me. And follow us at crownsup pod, CROWNSUPPOD, everywhere. Subscribe. We're trying to get our subscribers up. Make sure you write a review. As always, family, I love y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for taking the time out to be on the pod. Today you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be with us. We appreciate that.
Happy
birthday. Thank you. We're actually about to go eat now. So signing off, keeping your crown fit and your soul lit. #1 spot for hip hop, faith, and culture. As always, keep your crowns up. I love y'all. Be blessed.
And no shout outs to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Y'all messed up my ticket. I missed out on $600 because of y'all. I do not like you.
Thank you. Love y'all.
You're leaving. It's okay.
That was fun.